Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another episode of Amazing Worlds, where today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So far, all my previous reviews have been about fantasy books, and today I want to talk about a comic book or a comic book series that I really enjoyed. I really think is worth exploring. I'm really excited about it because the next two volumes are coming up in the next few months or so, and I really want to share this with you. I am talking about the Blacksad series by Juan Díaz Canales and Juanjo Guarnido. So here I have it. Blacksad, as I said. This is the what they call an integral version. This is all first 5 volumes compiled in one nice thick hardback. The comic, even though it's written and illustrated by two Spanish guys, is actually originally published in French first, then the Spanish edition comes a few months later, and then eventually you get the English edition. I think it's published by Dark Horse, but I'll have to check on that. And the series is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's won 2 Eisner Awards, so in case you don't know, the Eisners are like the Oscars for comics, for best art and best foreign edition in the US. Juan Díaz Canales is the writer, so he scripts it out, he writes the stories, and Juanjo Guarnido is the artist. He actually comes from the same town in Spain that I do, and the art is absolutely brilliant. I mean, Juanjo worked for Disney. He was one of the lead animators in the Tarzan movie, and I was really fortunate and lucky enough to meet both of them, and they both signed my copy of Blacksad. So you can see there, those are the signatures by Juanjo Guarnido and Juan Díaz Canales with a little sketch of Blacksad, the main character. So what Blacksad is about is just a really sort of classic 30s, 40s investigator noir story where John Blacksad, the title character, is this sort of cat-looking sort of humanoid who is a private investigator in the vein of the classic noir writers like Dashiell Hammett, Chandler. You get a really strong influence there of that sort of style of novel writing and the cinematic adaptations of those books and movies from that time period. So far, 5 stories have been published. I've got my notes here, so let me check. The first one is just a classic sort of 40s crime investigation. Then story number 2 deals with racial segregation that was unfortunately so prevalent in the pre-war period. Then it also talks about the sort of communism and the witch hunt that went on around that time. Story number 4 I really enjoyed as well. It was another crime investigation set in New Orleans, so you get all that sort of jazz influence and musicians and that setting that really befits the story. And the 5th story is more of a sort of classic 50s road trip, John Chirac on the road type thing, that for me plot-wise is the weakest of the 5 stories that have been published so far, but the artwork remains impeccable and amazing throughout the whole series. Also, a video game came out recently, just in September. The video game actually doesn't take anything from the stories. They actually wrote and created their own story for the video game, and I wish I could get it because it looks amazing. I'll leave the link in the description below, and I just don't get time to play computer games anymore, but I would love to to get it and give it a good play. The main reason why Blacksad is so incredible is the characterization of the vast array of people that you meet. And the main point is the bestialization of the characters, and by that I mean using animals to represent people. Obviously that is not new. Anyone that knows everything about comics will be familiar with Art Spiegelman's Mouse, where he told the story of his dad as a survivor of Nazi Germany, and in that comic, in Mouse, Spiegelman depicted the Jews as mice and the Germans as cats. The Polish were pigs and the Americans were dogs. So, you know, not difficult to see what message he was trying to convey there. But Blacksad just takes it to a whole new level. It's in color, it's every single vignette, every single panel is beautifully drawn, and the animals that are chosen to represent each character are very, very carefully selected. So just from looking at them, you just get a feel for the personality of the characters. There's one particular one where it's a bartender, but it's represented by a pig, and just the look of it is absolutely fantastic. And automatically in your head you can picture the person that is being represented there. Another great one, there's a lawyer that is a cockerel, and that is fantastic. And obviously the main character, John Blacksad, is a black cat, and he's got some of the traits and some of the what would you call it, skills of a cat. So he's got like a really sharp hearing sense, and some of the characters, they do take on some of the traits of the animals that have been chosen to represent them. So as I said, really excited because the next 2 volumes are coming soon. We've been waiting years for them. Juan Díaz Canales was working on a different series. He was following the Corto Maltese series that Hugo Pratt started years ago. He was chosen to continue writing the series. Not entirely sure what Juanjo was up to, but as I said, really excited. Upcoming next 2 volumes, the computer game, so the whole series has sort of expanded and created its own little world. Really high quality, really recommend it. Can't wait to get my hands in the next 2 volumes, on the next 2 volumes, sorry. And yeah, definitely, even if you're not an avid comic collector, even if you think that comics are for kids, trust me, it is not. And just for the artwork itself, it is really worth getting, or just borrowing, or getting, just buy one of them and have a read. They can be read on their own as a standalone stories. There is no continuing plot that you have to keep track of, so it can be quite rewarding in that sense as well. So definitely give it a check, give it a read, and enjoy the artwork because it is truly fantastic. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Have a good time.